All right, what's up guys? Today we're going to be talking about how your driver fittings might be kind of pointless if you're not walking out of that business with the driver that you tested in your fitting. So I'm making this video because I have a driver that I bought from a friend that he bought it brand new. And I do all my own fittings and everything, and I was struggling with this driver. I don't have the greatest golfing technique, so some of it's technique, but I could not reduce the spin on this driver. And I've spent the last 2 or 3 years just trying to work on my technique with the driver. And now I have stuff to check the lofts and lies. And I find that my driver is actually stamped as a 9-degree driver, but it's really a 10.5 or an 11-degree driver. So even when I turn the loft down, I think I can go 1 or 2 degrees lower, something like that. I'm still only at 9 degrees. And when I go in and I started trying other drivers, I could keep my spin rate down, which is something I've been struggling with. So I'm not going to say who made this driver, but it looks like they actually all kind of do this. And I'm going to link this article that I found on My Golf Spy, and it's called The Worst Kept Secret in Golf. And they did a lot of testing, and they found that 92% of the drivers they tested were not actually within spec. And it looks like Mizuno does have the most accurate drivers. As somebody who has worked in a lot of manufacturing, I do understand that we have something called tolerances when you make things. So, you've got a certain spec. It's hard to make everything perfect all the time. To be as far off as they're stating with something like golf, I do think it's an issue. And actually, I called the manufacturer of the golf club that I have, and I asked them to actually send me a new driver. And they were reluctant. They said, well, it's 6 years old. And I said, well, it was made that way. It's still wrong. And so they did actually send me a new driver. I haven't checked the loft specs on it, but I'm assuming maybe they did, and but it's also a more aggressive driver, so I can go up a little bit. I'm really trying to be around 9 or 10 degrees, but I like the ability to go lower. Maybe I want to go lower on a windy day. Maybe I want the ball to roll out more. I'm not sure. I just like having that option to mess around with stuff. And so I think it's with something like golf where, we go in and do fittings, and people order clubs and they get clubs shipped to them, and you're trying to get, you want certain distance gaps. I think it's a big problem that you might have 1 or 2 degrees different. You could be 1 degree strong on one club, and then maybe the next club you go, you're 1 degree weak, and now you're pretty close to those clubs being the same. So really, if you do buy clubs and you get them shipped to yourself, I do think you need to be getting them checked. I do think it's interesting that when I called the manufacturer and talked to them, they knew that my local, without knowing exactly where I was at, that my local golf store did not have a way to check lofts and lies for fairway woods, which I can with a really low end loft and lie machine. I'm able to check all my stuff for my drivers. I actually pulled out all of the other drivers I had and checked them, and they were accurate. So I do like that they fix it. I'm not happy with them being a little bit irritated by it and trying to state the age, but it was made wrong, and they did make it right. So I don't want to say the name, but maybe I should say the name because they did fix that. But man, that would be a pain in the butt if they have to fix a lot of stuff. So I find this article interesting that things really are all over the place. So I do think, and I don't know how possible it is, but if you go and do a golf fitting for a driver specifically, because the driver is one of the most used clubs in the bag, and it's the longest club, and I do think it's, if possible, that when you go in and do a fitting, that you walk out with the club that you did the fitting with, because the club that you're going to get is not going to be the same club. So that's kind of why I want to make this video. If you are, really into your equipment like I am, and I really like to know everything. I like to I like to tinker, then it's probably a good idea that you check this. So, I'm not sure what else to say on that. I guess that's the end of the video. I want to see what you guys think about this, so drop a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.